brush. Okay, so this is the cervical spine. So these are the cervical vertebrae, 7 in number, you know that. And this is present obviously in the neck region, so that's why we are going to discuss the cervical vertebra too. Okay, then this one is the thoracic spine, and this one is the lumbar, and this one is the coccygeal part. Okay, so we will discuss the cervical spine vertebra as we were discussing the neck. So and the neck, the posterior side of the neck has the vertebral column, and in the vertebral column you have the vertebra, and that's why. So this C1, C2 and C7, these are the atypical cervical vertebra because these have some special characteristics. Okay, why? Because you know that here is skull. So C1, this one is C1, this is C2 and this one is C7. So here skull is present. So C1 is very much related and very much just you can say manage itself or accommodated to communicate with the skull, occipital bone of the skull. And C2 has managed itself to communicate with the C1. That's why C1 and C2 both are different from the other cervical vertebra. Okay, these are the typical cervical vertebra, and the C1 and C2 and C7 are the atypical cervical vertebra. C7 is different. Why? Because it has modified itself to for like the thoracic vertebra. These are the thoracic vertebra. This is the thoracic spine. So these are the thoracic vertebra. So C7 has modified itself to just like the thoracic vertebra, and that's why these three vertebrae C1, C2 and C7 are different from the other cervical vertebrae, and other cervical vertebrae are the typical cervical vertebrae, and these three are atypical. Okay, so first we will cervical vertebra has a body. This is the main body. Not cervical, but all the vertebrae has main body. Almost all the vertebrae has a main body, and the transfer process. And this one is the spinous process. Spinous process is the one which you can feel from behind. The main prominence on your back is basically the spinous process. So the cervical vertebra also has the spinous process, body and the transfer process. And the important thing is this one. This is the foramen for the spinal cord. The spinal cord is just moving this foramen, which is the transfers for sorry, this is the foramen which is called the vertebral column is falling in it, and you can see this foramen and this foramen. So this foramen, these two foramens are basically for vertebral arteries. Vertebral artery is moving in the cervical vertebra from C1 to C6, and here is a hole, here is a foramen. That's why it is called the foramen transverse cerium. Okay, so these are the basically the things we have to discuss about the typical cervical vertebra. Okay, so let me this typical cervical vertebra is the spinous process. So this is the spinous process. The spinous process of the cervical vertebra, I mean the typical cervical vertebra, is bifid. Basically it has the two, basically it has the two, you can see that it is bifurcated, it is divided into two, and that's why it is different from the other cervical vertebra. Typical cervical vertebra has the spinal process which is bifid. Okay, first important thing, and second important thing is the body of the cervical typical cervical vertebra is quite different and it is broad. You can see from here that this one is broad, this one is broad. Okay, and what about the vertebral foramen? The vertebral foramen for the is for the spinal cord, as I have already told you, but it is triangular. It is large and it is triangular. Okay, the vertebral foramen is triangular. The spinous process is bifid and the body is small. These are the important characteristics of the typical cervical vertebra and the foramen spinosum for the vertebral artery. Okay, and these are the characteristics of typical cervical vertebra. Now we will go into the this one is the atlas. Atlas C1 is called the atlas and C2 is called the axis. Okay, C1 cervical vertebra, first cervical vertebra is also called the atlas and the second cervical vertebra is also called the axis. So the atlas is going to make a joint with the occipital bone, and that's why it's forming the atlantoaxial joint. And this axis is joint forming joint with this C1. C2 is forming joint with C1, and that's why this joint is atlantoaxial joint. Okay, this one here, the skull is present, occipital bone, it is articulating with the occipital bone of the skull. So this one is the atlanto-occipital joint and here is the atlantoaxial joint. Okay, so some important things about the C1. First we will discuss about, you can see there is no body. It has just posterior peduncle and superior, or you can say the anterior or posterior, but no body here. There is no body and the vertebral foramen is very large, although it is triangular but it is very large. And the foramen transverse radium is present, but the important thing to memorize it, there is no body over here. And for the C2, which is also called the axis, as I have told you, the important thing is this thing is very important. It is called the dense, or it is called the odontoid process. I always used to say dense. That's why I find difficulty to say odontoid process. Odontoid process is going to fix over here in the atlas, and no, I will not show it from here, but when two important things we have discussed about the C1 and C2. C1 is called the atlas and C2 is called the axis. Atlas is forming joint with the occipital bone of the skull and axis is forming joint with the atlas. Okay, and there is no body in the atlas, and the body is present in the axis, and bifurcated spine is also present in the axis. But the important thing is dense is present. Dense is also called the Odin process. Basically the name is Odin process. Okay, so the other atypical vertebra is the C7 cervical vertebra. This one is the C7 cervical vertebra. You can see that a spinal process is so long. So the important characteristic about the atypical C7 cervical vertebra is a spinal process is long, okay, and it is, plus the other thing is it is not bifurcated as we see in all the other cervical vertebrae. Spinous process was bifurcated, but here no bifurcation is present. Spinous process is long and no bifurcation is present. So this and this body, and let me tell you about the body. As we have seen, the body was broad in all the other cervical vertebrae, but here the body is elongated, not as much broad as we see in the typical cervical vertebra. So this is also an example.